Okay, so it's 6:02. We are in the caucus room. The courtroom is being utilized at this time. So like to call the City of Tonawanda Council to order. Jim, can you please call the roll? And do you want me to pass the phone?
Sure.
Okay.
Newman.
Okay.
Here.
Cameron Diner.
Here.
Rautenstrau.
Here.
Milam.
Here.
Cook.
Here. All right, Jim, I'd like to, or council, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel of particular persons. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mrs. Cameron. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All right, so Jim, we're in executive at 6:03 PM.
Okay, I'll place the individual in the waiting room. Susan, I don't know if you can hear me.
Yep, I hear you, Jim.
So just to let you know, we're going to go into executive. Once we come out of executive, hopefully we'll be able to go into the courtroom. And
Okay,
we'll be able to bring you back in. So,
okay, good, thanks.
all righty.
Yep, all set.
Thank you.
Greg.
Okay, Madam President, at this time, everyone's in the waiting room.
Okay, did you pause the recording?
Let me pause. Okay, Madam President, everyone in the waiting room has been entered back into the meeting.
Okay,
We're recording at this time.
thank you so much. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. We were in executive before this. So first, I just want to go through the agenda. On the minutes,
I'll take a minute, President.
Mr. Milam. Block party, July 20th,
I can take it, Mr. President.
Cameron.
In my hair.
The urban initiative, fund authorizing the mayor to sign a contract. Do we want to do council? Council, everybody?
No, I don't take that.
All right, the next resolution relative to the plumbing inspector,
I take that, Madam President.
Mr. Rounstrau. All right, during our workshop, we streamlined the RFP process. Do we want to do this as a council?
Sure.
All right. Resolution 6, special events application, Love Basket Raffle, or Snuggled in Love Basket Raffle.
I'll take it, Madam President.
Ms. Cameron. Great. Anything else before we call up Mr. Paolini? All right, Mr. Paolini, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I brought some copies and a letter of intent. You guys want to
Absolutely.
pass it out?
Sure.
Okay. There may be a few extra. This is a letter of intent and proof of funds. This is a, thank you, business portfolio and experience. I think I brought that.
Oh, Mike has one? Okay, thank you.
And I have one copy of the photo. If one of the photos I have this copy too, I only have one, but you have a color copy last night.
3, please.
I brought the projections, I don't know if you need those.
Thank you.
For anyone?
No, I think we should be good.
I'm sorry, what else did you have?
That's basically it.
Okay. All right, so for those joining us virtually, Mr. Paolini is from Paolini Enterprises, and he submitted a letter of intent regarding Spalding Commerce Park. Okay. Do you have anything else?
I'm interested in purchasing approximately 4 acres over there. And doing a mixed use business park over there. I have done them in the past. I own 2 business parks now. And I manage a 210,000 square foot facility right now.
Mr. Paulini, just to let you know that I reviewed your letter of interest. And even though I know what Milton Cat is going to say, they have a right to first refusal, I still had to send it off to them to ask them if they were going to exercise their right or not. I have not heard back from them yet, but he got back to me within about 48 to 72 hours with the previous letter of interest that we received. So I would expect to hear something back within the next day or two. And then our real estate broker will be in contact with you if obviously they decline the right to first refusal. And then we can start the process of, if needed, getting in front of the planning board. And then you and I can sit down and talk about the different things that are associated with that property that go with.
Yeah. I had some questions. I assume there's like an environmental study on the land.
Yes, that's been completed and that can be shared with you.
Okay.
Once we hear back from Milton Cat, we'll share the environmental study with you. Depending on what side of the parcel you go on, if the power lines obviously intersect
Yes.
to the left or the Hines Street side, there are no restrictions on that side of the parcel. To the right, there are restrictions where you can't have like gardens, like vegetable gardens. You can't have basements, things like that, but it's still zoned for residential use to the right of the power lines as you're looking at the parcel.
Mayor, do you know when you sent out that notification to Milton Cat?
It was today.
Okay. Was it an email?
It was,
Okay.
The renderings were from the first property that we looked at next to Simmer's Crane. The building's gonna be similar, but without the layout, it's hard for me to do another rendering without knowing how big the property is and what the setbacks are and all of that. Do you guys have any questions for me?
No, I know you met with us before. I appreciate you coming back to talk to
Yeah,
us.
thank you. Thank you for keeping us thinking of us.
Yeah.
this is great, and I'll, hopefully, I would be surprised if I'm not reaching out to you sometime this week, letting you know that Milton Cat with their decision, and then starting the process with our city attorney on a purchase agreement, and also sitting down with you, explaining the different advantages that one side or the other has to your project as far as the property and any kind of incentives that go along with it. And then we'll let you know when the next planning board meeting is to get in front of them. And
Okay.
we'll get things going.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time, guys.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks.
4 acres?
All right, let's go around the room. Mr. Newman.
I have nothing, Madam President.
Ms. Camerdaner,
I have nothing as well.
Mr. Ravenscroft,
I'm in the same boat, nothing for me either.
Mr. Mylan.
Ditto. Nothing from the fourth ward.
Oh, hold on. So we got to utilize the hub. I know we have the pedestrian bridge blocked off the safety. I stood there and I witnessed probably a dozen people carrying their bikes over.
And we've had keeping the gates closed and that area closed to prevent something like that. By the time somebody gets through there, the police are called to come over. I mean, they're already gone. But I know Jason has reached out to them and asked them to keep the construction area secured as obviously as much as they can.
Can we block off the bridge a little bit more, or so that they can't even come down that section?
What do you suggest? I mean,
I don't know. I mean, I stood there and I watched, like I said, like a dozen people trying to carry bikes down, and I'm like, this is not a good situation.
I mean, anything we put up, they're either going to be able to go over, go under, go around. I don't know what I just don't know what the easy answer is to prevent people from.
And my other quick question, when did we get an ATM at the hub? And who's paying the
3
fee?
years ago. Gateway
Gateway is maintaining that?
Gateway maintains it, and then they cut a check every year for proceeds of the processing fee. We maybe make $50. It's a nominal amount.
Okay. They were having a ball down there yesterday, dancing to their own little music. Just, suggestion when maybe we have somebody working down there in the Parks Department.
Well, I know we're having trouble filling positions.
I know.
Harbor master.
I was gonna clean it, but
Right. I mean, it's tough, and we're not the only. It's not just. I mean, the town of Tonawanda is dealing with it. North Tonawanda is dealing with it. All municipalities are dealing with the fact that it's hard to find summer help. So.
and the pool obviously won't be open until we can get our lifeguards on.
Right. We have a few that already have the certification. So we're all right in that sense. And as of right now, if we just went with the current lifeguards that we have certifications for, it would be open. It would be more limited hours, but I'm trying to work with the person that does the class and the school district in order to be able to offer the class to a few other individuals that are interested in being lifeguards, but don't have the certification to be able to give them the certification they need in order to have the pool open what it's normally open for on a daily basis. So
Would that certification be paid for by the participant in the course or the municipality or the
the
school?
city would pay for it.
It's good to know. Thanks. I did have one other thing. I don't know if the rest of you saw this, but there was a Facebook video posted, I don't know, I'm going to say Sunday, I think it was, of a mob of about 100 dirt bikes and four-wheelers that came down Niagara Street, overtook the traffic at the corner going into North Tonawanda where Tim Hortons is in the plaza.
Really?
Completely overtook the traffic, like in between the cars, turning left and going straight.
Wow.
I'm estimating there was probably 100 bikes and four-wheelers. And then they made the left-hand turn into North Tonawanda up and over the bridge or in that one lane. So just, if residents on Niagara Street are listening and see this, that they're coming down, because they obviously came down Niagara Street, I'd like to ask them to please call the police as soon as they see that. Those four-wheelers are not licensed to be on the street. And dirt bikes, if you know, depending on how they've registered them or whatever. But I would imagine that the people that were caught in that traffic were probably a little bit scared because they were totally taken over. All 3 lanes of traffic from the median over to the Tim Hortons. I want to say Bedell's, but it's not Bedell's parking lot there. And had to wait for everybody all the bikes to make that turn. And I don't know if anything happened while they went down River Road North Tonawanda, but it did not look like a safe or a good situation. So just to put people on notice, if you see that, please give the police department a call.
Didn't see it.
I didn't see it here.
Wasn't you?
I'll see if I can still find it. I know the resident who shared the video.
It was definitely our Niagara Street.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen,
Oh, yeah.
Like some videos of them in Buffalo.
Yeah, it was that corner because you could see Tops in the background and Joe's Pizza there. So it did have some foul language in it. So I will see if I can find it and send it around to everybody.
Thank you. Mayor?
And I had a meeting with an individual last week that would like to use the property that Reed's owns that Arthur Street leads into, which is, I don't know what the size of it is, but it's about an acre. He has a concrete form business where he makes prefab concrete foundations, either for homes, commercial businesses. They can also be used as medians or to block off a traffic with like a garden box, a planter box in it. I did tell him that that property was not zoned resident or was not zoned commercial. And he would have to go through the rezoning process. They would access the property through Reed's parking lot. So they wouldn't be bringing trucks down Lincoln, or I believe it's Stark over there. They would be entering and leaving through Reed's parking lot. But I told them about the fact that it's not zoned for that. They would have to go to the planning board to have it rezoned, and then steered them in the direction of Spalding. Told them that, you know, Spalding is zoned for that. And so he was gonna speak with the owner and see if which one he wanted to go towards. And then brought up another project where it would be condo units over there, about 80 acres for a development that he had somebody that was interested as well. What's it? No, at Spalding. So. And that's all I hear.
And I know there were talks of us abandoning that section, but that never
Yeah, I do remember
never did
something.
that.
No, and I think my understanding is it would have to be, it could be abandoned, but there's still a line that runs underneath there.
Right.
I believe we have a lease with one of the property owners to allow them access to their garage and their property, because without that, they would have no access to the garage on their property. But yeah, it hasn't been abandoned.
All right, anything else?
Have to get a lease or an agreement with Reed's, correct? Let's say this concrete company decided that they wanted to.
Right, and they've had the conversation with Reed's, and Reed's is open to it, but I told them, I said, it's not zoned for that. So they would have to go through the rezoning, and I don't know, you know, what kind of a pushback with it being in a predominantly residential area, what they would have, he indicated that there would be no noise from the fabrication. And again, the trucks would not be coming down the residential side, Stark and Lincoln. So, but I told him, I said, it goes in front of the planning board. It's kind of out of all of our hands, and so
Anything else?
that's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. Mr. Reese, are you on?
Yes.
Can, do you have an update on the COVID relief monies?
No.
Okay,
They haven't contacted me.
So we haven't received any correspondence.
No.
Okay. Do we anticipate relatively soon? Do we have a timeline? Do we have?
I'll reach out, but my understanding is there still might be some hurdles at the state, so I think that's where we're at. I'm hoping soon. I mean, they kind of indicated before it was gonna be April to May, so I'm figuring pretty soon they should come out with something, but they haven't talked about how they're gonna send it electronically, checks, any of that yet, so.
Okay, and you don't even have a commitment that we're going to get the 1.62 million?
No, they're still publishing what their desire was, but they haven't indicated that they know exactly how it's being flowed, if it's coming through the state, through the, I'm hoping it's a direct payment from the feds, but we'll see. They haven't indicated that yet.
Okay. All right, that was my question. Anything else before we? Oh, we weren't recording?
I'm recording too soon.
Oh, okay. Anything else before we? Okay, can I call the? Or should I wait for you? Okay.
That's what I get for not sharing with you guys.
Right, one dog, one bone. I would've won.
Wait after today. Next. But it must be the 15th. For the IT person.
Yes, the
Yeah.
15th. All right, Jim. Oh, go ahead.
Madam President, everyone in the Zoom meeting has been brought in from the waiting room. Everyone's set to go.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. It's 7:01. I'd like to call the meeting of the Common Council to order. Please call the roll.
Newman,
Here.
Cameron,
Here,
Rautenstrau,
Here.
Mylum,
Here.
Cook.
Here, please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please stand. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for the blessings upon us in this great city. We ask for your favor, O Lord, and continued blessings upon your people. Lord, we pray for our police officers and firefighters and ask you to protect them and to keep them safe. We ask you to be with all of our hardworking city employees. We ask for wisdom for our community leaders and our council and mayor tonight, Lord. Give them the means and the resources to do what is just and right. We pray for our local economy. May it be strong and vibrant along with our communities around our city, our waterfront, downtown, and businesses, may they thrive. Lord, take us where you want us to go. Let us meet who you want us to meet. Tell us what you want us to say and keep us out of your way. Amen. May you please stand as we have a moment of silence for Timothy Smith, who passed away. He served the city for over 20 years, 24 years in our recreation department. You could just keep in your thoughts and prayers the family of Timothy Smith. Thank you. You may be seated. All right, communications from city officials and correspondence have been ordered and filed. At this time, we'll take comments by the public on the resolutions. For those that are joining us virtually, there is a spot for you to raise your hand if you wish to address the council on the resolutions. For those of you that are joining us in person, please feel free to come up to the microphone. Any comments on the resolutions? Jim, do you have anything?
Madam President, at this time, we do not show anyone from the virtual meeting looking to make a comment on any of the resolutions.
Perfect. All right, hearing none, let's roll.
I'm just going to share the screen with everyone in the virtual meeting. Resolution number 1 by Councilmember Mylum.
Do we have a second?
I'll second, Madam President.
Second by Mr. Rounstrau.
Resolved that the common council minutes from May 18th, 2021 be accepted as filed.
Comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Newman,
Aye.
Kimmerdiner,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 2 by Councilmember Kimmerdiner.
Do we have a second?
I'll second, Madam President.
Second by Mr. Newman.
Resolved that the residents of Morgan Street between Grove and Williams Streets be permitted to conduct a block party on July 20th, 2021 from 6 to 8 p.m.
Comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Newman,
Aye.
Kimmerdiner,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
By the resolution number 3 by the council, seconded by the council. Whereas the city of Tonawanda has secured an urban initiative of $350,000 from the county of Erie, of which the money shall be used for various DPW, fire, police, parks, and recreation department projects. In addition, the monies will be used for the Local Development Corporation, the LDC, and the Tonawanda American Little League. And whereas the funds will be divided as follows: $25,000 for the DPW department, $35,000 for the fire department, $35,000 for the ice boom for the police dock, $88,205 for Local Development Corporation, $90,000 for park department, $50,000 for police department, $15,000 for the recreation department, $11,795 for Tonawanda American Little League. Now therefore be resolved that Mayor Rick Davis is authorized and directed to sign the contract between the city of and the county of Erie for $350,000 urban initiative.
Comments or questions?
Comment.
Mr. Newman?
I would like to thank legislators Hardwick for this. He did a lot of work. This is one of his programs he's been pushing for years, and it's very helpful for a lot of these departments and stuff, which, you know, funding that we normally would have probably, some in fact did cut out of the budget, which didn't have the money. So it's good news, and I want to thank him.
Thank you, Mr. Newman. Any other comments or questions? A comment, just to piggyback off of what you said, Mr. Newman. We appreciate Mr. Hardwick for his efforts. Certainly, these are projects that long overdue in the city and certainly well received. So thank you to our legislator for fighting for the city and for these projects. Any other comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Newman,
Aye.
Cameron Danner,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 4 by Councilmember Rautenstrau.
I will second.
Whereas as the result of the city of Tonawanda being unable to employ a plumbing inspector due to the New York State law requirement, and whereas the code enforcement officer has recently retired, and whereas these circumstances have resulted in the building inspector incurring additional job duties and responsibilities, now therefore be resolved that the common council is awarding a one-time stipend to the building inspector of $5,000. These monies will be paid from the salaries plumbing inspector account A003621-0100.
Comments or questions?
Comment?
Mr. Newman?
I would like to thank Mr. Lenners for everything he's been doing. He's been stretched pretty thin. And we have a lot of development going on in the city right now, so I could just imagine. He's working late hours, and it's, he's a salary position. He's not getting paid for that stuff. And I want to thank him for what he's done. And it is my mission to try to get this law changed, Mr. Conrad, so we can move forward on this whole plumbing inspector thing. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Mr. Newman. Any other comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Newman,
Aye.
Cameron Danner,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 5 by the council, seconded by the council.
Mr. Clerk, I'd like to make a motion to waive the reading of Resolution 5. Do I have a second?
I'll second that, Madam President.
Second by Mr. Mylum. Please call the roll.
This is to waive the reading of Resolution 5. Newman,
Aye.
Cameron Danner,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
Aye. Resolution 5. You don't have to read it, Mr. Clerk. So Resolution 5, sponsored by the council, seconded by the council. Comments or questions? Comment, in a sense, there was a resolution a few weeks back, just standardizing the RFP process. And that resolution was vetoed by the mayor. At our workshop, we came up with a standardized process that I think will keep the council informed of RFPs that are coming in and that are going out. And I think this is a good win-win for the department heads, the mayor's office, and the council. So I want to thank the council for brainstorming this and coming up with a good solution. Any other comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Newman,
Aye.
Cameron Danner,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 6 by Councilmember Cameron Danner.
Do we have a second?
I'll take it, Madam President.
Second by Mr. Mylum.
Whereas a special events application was received by the city clerk for the Snuggle and Love basket raffle at Veterans Park. And whereas the application was reviewed and commented on by all department heads to ensure the safety and well-being of our residents. And whereas all details for the above named event must be coordinated with the Recreation Director, Amanda Loft, and the event chairperson. Now therefore be resolved that permission is granted to Snuggle and Love to conduct its event on June 12th, 2021 from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Resolved that a certificate of insurance be submitted to the city clerk no later than July 7th, 2021, naming the city as additional insured.
Comments or questions?
please call the roll.
Newman,
Aye.
Cameron Danner,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted. At this time, we'll now take comments by the public following the resolutions. For those that are joining us here, please feel free to come up to our microphone. For those that are joining us virtually, there is a raise your hand spot. If you could click on that and we will call on you. Any comments?
Can I, hello?
Mrs. Cyphas?
Madam President, I have a comment from someone from the virtuals.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mrs. Cyphas.
Gail Cypress, 301 Broad. Just a correction, I think your last resolution, you need to change the date that the insurance is to be submitted. You've got it after the event. If I read it right.
That's correct. So the certificate of insurance is due no later than July 7th.
You probably
event.
June 7th.
It'll be June 7th. That's correct.
That is June 6th.
While we're at it, we need to change the date on resolution 8.
Not June 15th.
Jane? Okay. All right, so, so, Mr. City Attorney, so we have to amend resolution 6.
Madam President, you have to make a motion to reconsider resolution number 6, that passes unanimously, then you can re-vote on the resolution.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to reconsider resolution 6.
Second.
Second by Mr. Mylum. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So resolution 6, motion to amend the certificate of insurance to be received no later than June 7th. All in agreement?
Yes.
Mr. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Newman,
Aye.
Cameron Danner,
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted. Thank you, Mrs. Cyphas. Any other comments or questions? All right, anyone wishing to address the council virtually, Mr. Clerk?
Madam President, no one other comments from the virtual meeting.
Perfect, and seeing none here. Mr. Newman.
Thank you, Madam President. All I have to say is it kind of piggybacks on the urban initiative. Some of the funding that we did receive, some of those monies are going to the Iowa American Little League via the senior field on State Street. It's good news because the field needs a lot of work. I mean, it's 4 inches low and dirt, and it's in bad shape. However, I am very disappointed in the fact that people want to try to twist the work done by people to make it political when it's just people doing good for people. It's very disappointing, and that kind of stuff just needs to stop. You know, we're here to take care of the city in all facets, and that's our intention. That's why we were elected, and that's our agenda. And that's it. It's not political, and it's just very disappointing that people want to twist it for that. That's all I have, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Newman. Mr. Rautenstrau.
I didn't have anything, but I was asked to mention, reminded that Senator Sean Ryan is having a virtual meeting on the 3rd of June in regards to a broadband roundtable. Just want to mention it. I think this is more appropriate to the fact that, you know, the legislation that was passed and some funding that was brought about to extend the broadband, extend it to underserved communities, areas that don't have enough. They put money into the budget to do that and bring it out there. To piggyback on that, I've noticed again more posts on Facebook and people commenting and asking about why we don't have an alternate to Spectrum, why we don't have other differences. One is the fact that there isn't anybody else knocking on our door to bring it out there. There's nothing that the city council has done to preclude anybody else from coming in here. I feel like every year I tend to reiterate that. I was fortunate enough in my first term to work with our representative from Spectrum, a government representative, to renew our contract that hadn't been renewed in years and years and years. I want to say it goes back to the 80s. But I do want to say there was nothing even in that contract that precluded another company from getting in here. I often share information and comment on these on Facebook, and I just figured I'd mention it again publicly so it's out there as a point of reference. There's nothing in there preventing anybody else from coming in. Over the years, Verizon has been asked to come out. It's my understanding that they're not building out their areas anymore. They've stopped doing that. They're focusing money on their 5G networks. A lot of articles on that. So I just wanted to bring that point up. Also bring up the point that we've reached out, myself and Dave, to Greenlight Networks. We're cautiously hopeful that they'll be in our area at some point. They've already started building out in the city of Buffalo. They're another alternate to broadband. My understanding with them is they're servicing areas that aren't already serviced by Verizon, looking for places with only Spectrum, with only one option here. So they're moving through Buffalo, they're installing there. We're on the radar. People have shown a lot of interest, and I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow or this year, but I think that we're on the radar and they're going to move in here shortly. That's really all I wanted to comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Armstrong. Ms. Cameron.
Thank you, Madam President. I too just want to say, Little League tall is held a heart. My kids played there for years. I did take a look at the field as well. It does need repair. We do need to come together and have a safe place for our boys and girls to go and play. I intend on volunteering that day as well. So please, if you guys want to come out, help us bring this field up to where it should be for the young men and women to play. I would greatly appreciate it. I believe we are doing it Saturday, the 5th.
Yes.
Right? Saturday the 5th at State Street at 7 a.m. if you want to join us. Thank you, Madam President. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mrs. Cameron. Mr. Mylan.
Thank you. I don't have too much this week. The soccer club is kicking off our season on Saturday morning. First game starts at 9:30. I'm pretty excited. Our enrollment is down a little bit this year, but with COVID and everything else, I think that was to be expected, but we're still hovering around 175 kids coming out to play soccer. And regardless of skill level or, competition level, there's going to be 175 kids out having fun on Saturday morning, running around. And I can't thank the volunteers enough, the coaches, the parents who registered, our recreation department for lining the field, setting up the nets. It's truly been a community effort this year. I went over and visited the fields last night, and we kind of laughed at why have we never used Ives Pond before, because it is so nice. The parents seem to be very happy to be over there. So as this is my final season with involvement with the club, so I'm glad to see it's going out on a high note. And if you guys want to come and watch some crazy kids running around on Saturday morning, we'll be there from about 9:30 till about 11. So I just wanted to thank everybody that kind of came together to get this up and running and the kids having somewhere to come out and play. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mylan. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd like to thank Mr. Paulini for coming before us again today, and I hopefully look forward to working with him in the not so distant future on 4 acres up at Spalding. I'd also like to thank Ray Constiglione from Priority Biz, who also put in a letter of intent, and is now working with our city attorney on a purchase agreement. And we'll also be in front of the planning board very shortly. I'd also like to thank Dave Mazer, who is building the Parkview Estates, for giving me a tour of the apartments / townhomes over there. COVID has kind of taken a hit with him as well. Trying to find skilled labor to do things that need to be done in order to open this summer has been difficult. Plans on opening up in the September-October timeframe. And it's his first project here in the city. He's got projects in other municipalities. So hopefully it's not his last project here in the city. And last VFW Car Show is this Sunday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Please consider stopping by. It's kind of the first event I think we've had post-COVID in the city. So
Where's it gonna be?
at the VFW in the parking lot. So please consider stopping by. Thank you, Madam President.
Okay.
9 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple things. I want to thank Mr. Paolini for coming to meet with the council today. Thank you for your interest in our city, and we look forward to seeing more of you relatively soon. I have a gentleman in the audience today, Skip Johnson. With COVID, we haven't been able to do our Warriors walks, but tomorrow we'll be kicking off our Warriors walk starting at 6:30, and that will be covering Goose Island. I would absolutely encourage you to come on out and listen to Skip. He's a wealth of knowledge on our city's history, and this is one of our favorite series. So thank you, Skip, for agreeing to do another year with us, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. For those of you that aren't able to join us, we will go Facebook Live for the event. So thank you again for that.
Where's that event gonna be, man?
Goose Island. So we're gonna meet at the Tops parking lot, and then we'll walk down towards Niagara Shore. And
Thank you.
No? Oh, he's shaking his head.
The bank.
We'll head towards the bank.
Right, HSBC, the old HSBC. Rainer.
There may be some surprises up our sleeves. Who knows? Exactly. For those of you that are on social media, we've put out some pleas that the Parks and Recreation Department is hiring. So if any one of you are looking for summer employment, please stop down to City Hall, pick up an application, and come to work for us. Earlier today, we received a notification from our city clerk that the Board of Elections has reached out to him. And I just wanted everybody to be aware that City Hall is once again going to have early voting. The early voting dates begin Saturday, June 12th and run through Sunday, June 20th. And the times are from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. on the weekends and 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. during the week. And voting will take place in the community room. And Mr. Clerk, if you can get this information up on our city website as well.
Yes, Madam President.
I'd appreciate that. I know many of us are very excited that Donut Craze is opening its doors tomorrow in the city. My waistline's not too excited about it, but I certainly am. So congratulations to Donut Craze, who officially will be opening up their doors at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I assume I'll see some of the council in line getting some donuts, but
Camping out.
I say I got my tent in the trunk.
right. Last, I want to just point out to the community that David Holmes and David Stapleton has taken over the property at Little League Drive. The council has made numerous attempts to invite him to a council meeting. In fact, we agreed on last meeting for him to come, but there was not a definitive time set. Our city clerk had reached out to him to schedule a time. There was no response. Subsequently, I sent multiple emails to Mr. Stapleton with no response. You know, it's unfortunate that those emails were not responded to. I hope that Mr. Stapleton and David Holmes is going to be a good neighbor. He's invited to meet with this council to give us an update on construction and breaking ground and infrastructure and all that fun stuff that would go into a project. So we will certainly again make another attempt to reach out to Mr. Stapleton in hopes that he does come before the council and talks to us about this project. So for those that have inquired as to why there's barriers up at Little League Drive, that is private property, and that property is no longer owned by the city. So Mr. Stapleton or anyone who may be reaching out to him, you know, please, I encourage you to come talk to the council about what our next steps are. And last but not least, the Senior Citizen Center is opening tomorrow. So certainly a welcome site. And I wish them much success, and I look forward to the programming. And thank you to the Senior Citizens Director for investing so much time, as well as the committee, in making sure that the doors open as planned. With that said, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn in memory of Timothy Smith, who served the city beginning on June 19th of 1970, and he retired on December 31st, 1994. Do I have a second?
I'll second that, Madam President.
By Mr. Rautenstrau. All those in favor?
Aye.
Have a great night, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
You.
And we'll be ending the virtual call. Thank you for joining.
All my sources got all these over.